Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Sorry this video is a little bit late, but it is Thanksgiving, so I've been spending the time with my family and with my girlfriend and just having a great time. I actually did record some gameplay with my girlfriend, and I don't know, I think it's funny. I think it's mostly, I recorded a game of Slender and a game of this, COD 4. I'll post them, you guys tell me if you think they're funny. So today's episode is the guide to the AK. Yes, I actually got the name of the series right. When I recorded the first one, I didn't have the name all worked out, so oh well. But so the AK, it's a great gun. I have to say that. As far as all the guns go, this one's probably the best, or at least one of my favorites. It's a really great gun if you're going for short to medium range combat, which is kind of most of the maps, which is why it works so well. As you see, I go on a lot of different... Okay, somebody just yelled something. I go on a lot of different like little tears here. One of the biggest problems that I have is that it runs out of ammo really fast. I would definitely recommend the bandolier. I didn't actually use that in my perfect class setup, because I was using the silencer, and I figured, you know, I should probably have something that's like a little bit extra power, so I equipped the grenades and then found out I didn't even really use them. So I would definitely recommend the bandolier so that you just get that extra ammo, because it's so necessary. I run out of ammo so fast. So the first thing that I want to talk about in actually being able to use this gun in a good way is to keep moving. No matter what you have on this thing, you want to move a lot. You want to never stay in the same place, and you never want to stay still even when you're shooting. This gun isn't terribly accurate. It has a lot of recoil, it bounces around a lot. It's not something where you can stand still and just drop a bunch of people. You should be moving, because chances are if they have an M4 or if they have the M16, they're gonna put you down pretty quickly without much of a struggle, I should say, because their guns are generally just more accurate and they can hit you. It's not good to stand still. What you see a lot of in this is really, you know, me practicing what I preach in this. You definitely need to burst fire. It's great for medium range shots, and it can do long range shots, but burst firing is definitely the way to go. As I was starting this, and you know, as I was playing with it naked, I didn't really burst fire. I was like, it's not the most important thing. I mean, you can spray, it works, but as I start using it more and more, you definitely notice that I start bursting more and more, because it's just better that way. So aside from bursting, one of the things that you do have to keep in mind is, of course, the range of this. It's definitely a medium to short gun. If you're using it short, you don't need to ADS. It works really fine in hip fire, but if you're trying to go for those long range shots, you have to accept that a lot of them you won't hit. I do hit quite a few long range shots, and it's generally because I've gone prone, I'm laying very still, I'm not moving, and I'm very, very leaned in close to my screen and hoping that my target, whoever I'm shooting at, doesn't move too much. Like this one right here. Burst, burst. You know, I dropped 3 bursts, I missed one of them completely, and I had to stop and stand completely still, you know. So this whole thing is just me getting 20 kills with each set. This, of course, took me the longest. I didn't aim as much and all that, and it's just like, so I got through there and then die. So I jump here. So this one, of course, is with the rocket launcher, and I would say that my 2 favorite class setups with this are either with the launcher or with the silencer. The red dot and all the sights and stuff, they work. I mean, there's a lot of recoil. When you're looking down the red dot, it bounces around so much that it's really disorienting. But you can still use it. It works. It definitely works, but I wouldn't recommend it. That's trying to give this gun range that it doesn't need. It's a great gun for most of the maps. You're not going for super long shots. If you're keeping, you know, that medium to long range, or medium to short range, then you'll be fine. You know, I would definitely always be able to recommend the grenade launcher, because in situations it's so good. Like right there, that guy had me pinned down. I had no way of being able to shoot him, and so I just decided, we'll just throw a grenade out there. Just like how right there I was able to switch to the Desert Eagle, This whole class right here is just all about power, and it really does work. When you're using the grenade launcher, you don't really want anything less powerful than the deagle. It's all about, you know, pushing and just being all attack, attack, attack. So another big problem with this that I have to come back to is the recoil. It is a very, very unstable gun, and this game does not have foregrips for the assault rifles. So even though you see me getting quite a few kills and doing all these different things, it's not that easy to get those long range ones. They don't come as easily as they probably look, and just burst firing like that, you put yourself on the line a lot. This right here, of course, being with the, I think this is still with the grenade, yeah, this is still with the grenade launcher. It's kind of crazy how much this gun just moves around. But if you're using something like a reflex or an ACOG, the only thing that I can tell you is to burst fire. They work. You do get to aim down the sight and look through them, and they are pretty and such. But I would definitely burst fire. If you're holding down, if you're spraying, if you're using the full auto, you're gonna miss most of your shots. That right there is called prioritizing your enemy. It's something that I'm not very good at. So, don't know what to say about that. I am never very good at it. I always tend to shoot at the wrong one. So this right here is with the reflex, and you're going to kind of see what I'm talking about. I do go ahead and give you a look at it. I tried to do that with each one, and I think I forgot for most of them, I'll be honest with you. But when you're using the reflex, I like how he was just there. A lot of this you'll see me dying to people who spawn like right next to me. But it's a very clear sight, but I feel like it's kind of useless because the AK has really good, really clear iron sights. So there's almost no point to having the reflex. I guess if the red dot helps you, it's good. But as you see, that red dot goes flying just absolutely everywhere, especially on those longer range shots. Like up this close, it doesn't matter. You know, if you're within knife distance, it doesn't matter. But as I try to get a shot from out here, I have to burst in like 2-shot bursts because that thing goes flying everywhere, and it kind of sucks. It really does. And it's the same thing with the ACOG. It moves around so much that it's hard to keep on your target. And so if you're doing those bursts, I recommend like very light, like 2-round bursts. And I don't know what happened here. I just kind of froze up. I mean, you know, game day. That you just lose all it's big game. You just get nervous. You're just like, ow. He'll just, no, I can't. And you start second guessing yourself. You freeze up. I'm sorry. I do go on quite a few bloodthirsties. I did set my radar in this little private match to B5, just to give it like a tiny bit more of a challenge. I don't know. It felt like if it was at 5, I guess it felt like more like the newer Call of Duties where you had to get, you know, like 450 points, so you basically had to go on a bloodthirsty to get it. But you see right here, I just sprayed and I hit like none of my target. And that was just me kind of trying to show you what happened. I was aiming down the center, they all kind of lined up, and I only was able to kill one of them. You know, it's just, this gun is really good if you just shoot it in bursts, alright? And that's like, I can't say that enough. I can say it a million times and I won't have said it enough. Bursts are kind of the most important thing, alright? So, as great of a gun as it is, I do have to tell you right now, there's no camos that make this thing look spectacular. Gold looks really nice, but other than that, none of the like basic camos that you can get, they don't really all look that good. I went with the, you know, the silver plated or the nickel plated, I forget what it's called, I think it's nickel plated. But even that is just kind of, well, at least it's shiny, you know? It's not very nice to look at. None of them really are. But I do go on quite a few, like, you know, mercilesses, and that's just because it's a good gun. I mean, it's just great. With the suppressor, which is my favorite, personally, I would say that my favorite is probably the suppressor. I do have to tell you, it's just, you know, the anonymity of it, just being able to just sit there all and shoot people and not have them know where you are. It's kind of the most useful thing to have on this gun, because you have to reload it so often because you dump bullets so quickly. Also, one of the things that I recommend for this class is to always have fast hands. You reload so much and it's just so useful. You should definitely have it. If you don't have it, you're going to be at a disadvantage for most of the game. I know that you like having your 3 frags and your 3, what are they called, flashes. I know that it's useful to have 6 of those, but it's not worth it. You reload, I mean, that's like one of the biggest things that you see throughout every single clip, is that I'm constantly reloading. Because you never have enough bullets. I don't understand. They start you out with 60. That's it. You get two magazines, and they're just like, okay, you're gonna be good with that. That's fine. You're good. No, you're not good. It's not enough. With this, I had the USP-45 suppressed. That was to kind of keep me from using it, because I was getting kind of used to just using the pistol whenever I got kind of low, and you shouldn't do that. Alright. Well, I shouldn't do that because I'm trying to show off the AK. Hi, hello. How you doing? Yeah?
I don't want to be in your video.
Oh, well then, don't speak, because if you speak, you'll be in it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Alright. Where was I? What was I talking about? Damn it, you made me lose my place. Yes, AK47. I was talking about how you have to reload all the time. Seriously?
I moved into the floor so I don't make noise.
Jesus Christ. Burst fire, always. Reload, always. So the suppressor is my favorite. It's kind of the only one that I really found useful, other than the grenade launcher. And the grenade launcher I don't like just because of that whole stigma against, you know, noob tubes or whatever. Also, it looks kind of stupid. That's just my opinion, but it definitely looks stupid. As you see right there, I am able to get long-range kills with it. You do have to burst fire really, really carefully. And any short range, you might as well just hip fire, because you're not gonna hit it. Even like something that close, as you saw, I had to burst fire because it wobbles so much. It's the most uncomfortable thing to have an ACOG on a AK-47. It just doesn't work. One of my favorite things though about the ACOG was being able to see those longer distances, because the AK can hit that far, and it does work when it's that far away. So if you can get it to where you're comfortable burst firing in bursts of 2 or 3, and you're controlling it, I would probably recommend it if you're on one of the bigger maps. I would recommend that you just have this class. If you have, you know, enough space for it, just get this class and just hold on to it just in case you need it. Maybe you're in a lobby and there's only snipers and they're just really all being annoying, and you want to get them from far away because anytime you get close, you die. That would be a use for it. That's kind of the only use that I see for it. It's like the reflex, it just moves around too much to be useful. I will say that having played this game when it was, before it was remastered, it was way worse. The reflex and the ACOG have both gotten more stable. Back when you played the actual original one on your PS3, if you put a reflex, you were just wasting your time. But now it's less of a waste of time, I guess. So this is when I got online to go ahead and play and show you guys what it's like in an actual lobby, and the very first thing that I find is this guy just camping. And so I just wanted to put in a little message. Don't be like him. Don't do that.
What are you doing, Terry?
Trying to be productive. Golly. Don't be this guy. It's annoying for everybody. And I do mean that. Oh god, I hate him. He does eventually leave though. He leaves in about 10 seconds. He's just, god, I hate him. Don't you hate him? Look at that. Look what he's doing.
Why aren't you shooting him?
Because he's on my team. He's just a guy on my team, and he stood watching an entrance of a place, and he just killed people that walked through.
You should have killed him.
I can't. There's no friendly fire. You can't.
Like, he doesn't let you?
No, like if I do it a couple times. I just shoot right through him. Like you see how I'm knifing him and it's not doing anything.
Stupid. Do not agree.
Well, it's because he's my teammate. He doesn't want me killing my teammates.
Well, you can't in the real world.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm playing with the suppressed AK. I kept it plain because I don't have too many camos for it. And I do have to say, being able to sneak around inside the enemy spawn is kind of my favorite thing. When you're online, it's a really good gun. I was not able to find a good connection, as you can see, so I didn't have too many good rounds. I did well this round, so I kind of just used this one. But I'm kind of teleporting and rubber banding all over the place. And I guess that's just, it was because it was, you know, Thanksgiving break and all the little kiddies were on and they were playing their brand new Infinite Warfare, and they found out that there was another game attached and they wanted to see what it was. I don't know, but it was just really hard to find a good connection. When you are playing with other people, though, it's different than playing with bots, and so one of the main things that I wanted to point out was that what was that? Oh. One of the main things that I wanted to point out was that if you keep a distance, the gun works better. It's not a long distance gun. It's not something that you want to use for cross map, but I definitely recommend, like, buildings like this one, you go up and you look out the windows and you watch for people. If you're running gunning with this, I would definitely recommend you just go with the grenade launcher. I wouldn't recommend anything other than that, just because it's kind of not useful. And if you do want something a little bit longer range, I wouldn't recommend any of the optics. I would just recommend the silencer. That keeps people from knowing where you are, and it's kind of the most useful. The iron sights are really, really clear. You can see through them very, very well, and there's no point in putting anything else on there. And when you put the other things on there, they don't really work. And if I had a better connection, I could have got that kill. I promise I could have. Hey, don't laugh. I could have.
Got shit on it.
Okay, well, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna... Screw you. I said I was gonna screw you.
No, not rude.
I know it's not rude. Fuck you. Everything you say makes me sad. Anyway, one of the biggest things that I found myself doing with this gun was sitting and waiting, which kind of sucks because it is an assault rifle, but it's not super useful as a run and gun. If you want to use a run and gun, I will always recommend, you know, the M4 or the G36 or even the MP44. They're good guns to move around with. However, this one, it's just more of a medium range gun, and so when you're in those close quarter situations, if they have an MP5 or if they have the AK47U, it's AK74U, it's not gonna work. You're generally gonna lose the firefight. You are able to win some, but not most of them. So if you want to do well with this gun, just keep your distance. Relax. This, of course, is the final clip, and it shows my favorite setup with it. I just went with nickel-plated. I got my 3 extra grenades. I have my 3 flashes, which is, you know, I just thought that would work, and it really didn't. I didn't end up using those grenades except for, like, once. So I would definitely recommend Bandolier. It just gives you the extra ammo, and you run out of ammo so fast. So fast. Big common misconception with the silencers is that you can't shoot through walls. You can. Just avoid shooting through walls when you can, because you lose so much damage. Like, not a ridiculous amount, but an amount that's too much for you to be okay with losing. Also, waiting behind corners, you know, just moving around a lot and trying to, like, bait people towards you is always better than rushing people. That's kind of a rule of this game. In Black Ops 2, you could rush people. In Black Ops 3, you could rush people. In Infinite Warfare, I don't know, I haven't played that game. But in Ghost, I don't know, I haven't played that game. But in Advanced Warfare, you could also run around a lot. This game, not so much. This is an older generation of Call of Duty. This is back when you were supposed to play a little bit more tactically, which of course nobody did. If you're gonna play tactically, you're supposed to not move as fast. I didn't do especially well, just because I was kind of distracted with Thanksgiving-y things. So, I did go on quite a few separate tears, but I didn't really link up too many. I think I only got like 2 or 3 merciless medals. But one of the things that I did want to show off is a lot of these really nice long-range shots. Like from here, down on this balcony, down to there. I get 3 bursts in, I hit all of them, and I kill them. And then immediately I was able to get 2 close range. That's what this gun is good at. Medium to short range, it always works. And one of the biggest things that I should say is that you should always be able to switch to your pistol, which is why I love fast hands. You're reloading a lot and you're switching your gun a lot. Fast hands is great. Also, this bot just had the game of his life. Look at this. He turns on me and then just bam, quick scope. It's over. It's good. He's gonna join FaZe tomorrow night maybe. He's a winner. Everything he does is great, and you know I can't say anything against it. This gun, when it hip fires, is actually surprisingly accurate, and I would definitely recommend it for any close quarters. I would just not take the spare time to ADS. It's just not worth it because it's very surprisingly accurate. This is the one time that I use the grenades, and I don't think I get a single kill with them, which is again why I would recommend the bandolier. I get the kill, I prone down, wait for this to pass, and then I start moving again. And in this one, I go on quite a little tear. This is kind of where the AK shines, is in buildings, where you're hitting these shots, you're stopping people from entering. They don't know exactly where you are, which is why Suppressor is so great. And you can get in, get out, you can move around without them seeing you, and that's why this works. It's a great gun when it's suppressed because you're hidden the whole time. I would say one of the main things that I relied on, more so than even the gun itself, was definitely my headphones. If you're playing without headphones, you should probably use a gun that's a little bit more consistent and has a little bit better aim. You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I would definitely recommend that you pick up something with a little bit more firepower behind it, because this one is, you have to know where people are. You have to be able to hit them first, because it doesn't do as much damage as the other ones. I don't know if that's statistically right, but just in how I've played and how I've seen, I can tell you that the other rifles do more damage in general. Although this one does have a much higher rate of fire, which is why it's so great, and which is also why I went ahead and I paired it with the M9. The M9 is fantastic as a secondary to this weapon, because you can shoot it quick, and it has a ridiculous amount of bullets. It holds like 17 or something like that. No, I'm joking. It holds like 8 or 9, which is just great. I mean, it's just a great gun, and it holds a lot of bullets, and you can shoot it so fast, and it's one of the more accurate guns. You just move around a lot, huh? You've ruined my workflow. You really have. Anyway, this is a great gun. You should definitely use it, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Go ahead and subscribe for the next video. It's coming out next Tuesday. Have a good one.